Welcome guys to my tutorial on IoT platform with Hadoop and Spark for beginners. I'll be explaining a very simple architecture how to build your IoT platform using Hadoop ecosystem and Spark. And I've categorized into three parts. We'll be discussing in detail on the three parts. Okay. So this is my setup. You can see I have used Raspberry Pi as my IoT gateway, which will be getting data from the field. To simulate the field devices, I have used ESP32 with BME280 sensors for sensing temperature, humidity, etc. And I'll be sending a JSON data to my NIFI. NIFI will act as my data from the IoT gateway to route into Hadoop and Spark. Okay. So how this training session I'm going to split, you can see we'll be splitting into part one and part two and part three. Part one I'll be majorly covering on the field devices and IoT gateway where we'll be working on Arduino, and as well as Mosquito Raspberry Pi. Okay, and other consecutive part two we'll have the detailed discussion on the Hadoop platform, and part three we'll have a detailed discussion on how to do processing using a Spark. So this video will focus more on installing Mosquito Raspberry Pi and how to send the data to my Raspberry Pi from the ESP32 and IoT devices. So it's a very simple architecture which I'll be explaining. This is to make understand how I can use my Hadoop system for my IoT and data analytics. The topics what I'm going to cover here is basic architecture. Okay, and next I'll be covering up how to install MQTT broker on Mosquito Raspberry Pi. Next, I'll be covering on programming ESP32 with Arduino board with BME280 sensors. Okay, and next I'll be covering on Hortonworks data platform and HDF Hortonworks data flow. Hortonworks data platform where I'll be using for Hadoop Spark, and HDF I'll be using for NIFI Spark, NIFI and Kafka. So, and I'll be seeing route and processing streaming data using Spark. So first part one I'll be still programming still is part two I will be covering on Hadoop, Hadoop and Kafka and NIFI, NIFI all those stuff, and routing data still NIFI. And part three I'll be covering on streaming data using Spark. Okay, this is a very simple architecture where I have things, insight, and actions. Okay, in things I'm going to have a field device. I'll be programming through Arduino board which will be pushing a JSON data which will be pushing a JSON data to the Raspberry Pi, MQTT Raspberry Pi, where I have installed my Mosquito in MQTT. So from the data will be published to NIFI. NIFI will consume the data and it will route the data to Hadoop, Kafka, and Kafka will be publishing the data to Spark Streaming. Spark Streaming will consume the data and process the data. And I have used a simple Python libraries to do the visualization here. Okay. So this is how the simple architecture looks, and in detail we can see how the architecture looks on the consecutive slides. This is how it looks. I have an ESP32 with BM280 sensors which will be sending JSON data to Raspberry Pi where I have installed Mosquito. It is a MQTT broker. So I have a NIFI. Inside NIFI, I have a consume MQTT processor which will consume the data from the Raspberry Pi and consume the data from the Raspberry Pi. This is a consume MQTT process. Then I have created a put HDF process where it will dump the data into your Hadoop cluster. Okay, Hadoop cluster where I can use for future analysis. So it's just a dump I'm putting in. Now then it will be I have another processor called as a publish Kafka, which will consume the message, which will get the message from the consume MQTT, and it will publish through Kafka, and Spark streaming will consume the data from the Kafka, and the Spark engine will process the data according to what I need. Here I have used a simple real-time computation on average of temperature and humidity, and this is how I have visualized. You can use a Jupyter Notepad or Zplane with a Python. This is how I have done it, and this is what I'm going to explain. I'm not going to teach. I'm going to explain how to do it. So let's see how to install a MQTT broker on Mosquito on a Raspberry Pi. Okay. Okay, let's see how to install. Okay, this is the topic we are again. Okay, let's go on Raspberry Pi. First, get into your login to Raspberry Pi. Just check the Raspberry Pi devices. Just check the OS version and the release model. What I release model? The Raspberry Pi version. What I have used here is Jessie version 8, and Pi model is 3. Model B revision version 1.2. So practically I'll be showing how you can check these things, and if you guys have not used Raspberry, how to install Raspberry Pi, I have given the links, you can use that. And now I you now do the installation. They use these codes what I have showed here, how to install Mosquito. And if you put only Mosquito server will be installed, client will not be installed. So if you want to do a command line augment, you need a Mosquito client. So I have installed together Mosquito and Mosquito clients. So follow the same. Okay, next step three. Step three. Once you every time on boot up, to make the broker to run on boot up, I have used this command so that it enables the service. So whenever you power on the Raspberry Pi, it automatically this broker service starts execution. So to check the what is the version I have installed, use this command mosquito minus v, and here you can see the mosquito version what I have used is 1.34. Okay, this is when the port have the detail of the port 1883. So now I have create a topic, IoT test topic, in one window using another putty, and I've created another window with you can use putty or Mobax or Windows system, and I'm publishing the I'm publishing the data to it, and you can see in the other window the data is getting published. That means my Raspberry Pi installation is working fine and able to get us. So if you want to install on Raspberry Pi, please look into these links. And if you want to understand basics of MQT, I found one of the good YouTube links I have given here. You can go through these YouTube links and you can share, you can check it. Check the this looks very basic of understanding of MQTT. Okay. Now let's see how to do it. Let me show what are the steps I have showed. We'll see it practically how to do it. So I have used Windows subsystem Linux. Now I'm trying to get into. I have already connected my Raspberry Pi to my system. I have used advanced IP scanner. Using IP scanner, I can see my Raspberry Pi is connected to 104. So I'm doing a simple SSH to my Raspberry Pi. Okay. Okay. So. Okay. Okay. Oh, I have given a wrong password. Okay, I have logged into my Raspberry Pi. Okay. So now I have created a topic in Consumer MQTT. I have created a Raspberry topic called weather, which we'll discuss. Before going to that, let me check what is the release version. See, my Raspberry Pi is working on Jessie release. Okay. Now let me check the what is my model, the hardware device of my Raspberry Pi. Okay, it is Raspberry Pi 3 Model B revision 1.2. This is the hardware what I'm using now for the demo purpose. Okay, now yeah. Now let me check the. I have already installed Mosquito, so I have not followed the step. I'm directly getting into the Mosquito version to check. If you want to install, I have shown in my slide decks. You can use it, and remember the port 183 will be used everywhere for the communication with the Raspberry Pi. Okay, and Mosquito. Now I'm creating a topic in Mosquito to check whether my Mosquito installation is working fine or not. Okay. So I created a topic. Now I'm waiting. I have subscribed to the topic. I'm just waiting if somebody publishes to receive the data. So I'm using Mobax here as a second window. Okay. So just log in into SSH. Okay. I have not set any password for my Mosquito. I'm using the Raspberry Pi password. Okay. Okay. So now I will be publishing to the topic called IoT test topic. So I have logged in another window into the same Raspberry Pi, but now here I'm going to publish I'm going to publish I'm going to publish some message to the IoT test topic. Okay, see here. Okay, okay. Okay, now I'm sending a message called as IoT World. So you can see in the next window, the IoT World is published. Okay, now again, let me check, let me send one more message and see the, okay. Okay, I'm sending IoT World 2. So you can see I have sent the second message. So this means my Raspberry Pi installation is perfect and it is working fine. Okay. Okay. Now let's see how to program my Arduino board for temperature, sensing temperature, temperature with ESP32. Okay. So I'll be explaining, I'll not explain on the installation part. I'll give you just an overview. Before going to that, let us do the software, hardware setup, what I want to do. The hardware I have used here is BM2802 and ESP32, and software Arduino IDE, and programming, either you should be familiar with C or Python. And step one, I have used, for my, here I have used ESP826 also, and I have used C programming, and the sensor communication using is I2C, I2C communication protocol. So here I have shown how to connect your Beam 82080 sensor with ESP32. Follow the same. It is for I2C communication. Okay. Okay. So you'll be able to see all this communication I have given. Please follow this communication to set up your sorry ESP32 yeah, for sensing the data from the BM280. Okay. Now let me go into the installation. So Arduino you can install based on your Windows or Mac. You can install your Arduino, and now after installing, you should ensure that you have the particular library BM820 for the sensor library, BM820 for the sensor libraries and other things. And additionally, you have to ensure that this preference and other MQTT broker links I'll be sharing in my link. You can use that and go to tools bar and ensure that you select a ESP32 dev model. Okay. Okay. So this is what, now let's see how to practically do it. I will explain. Okay. Okay, one second. Okay. This is my Arduino IDE. Okay. So I have already written the code. Before I will be showing how to do it. First, go to File, and as I told you, need to link the board managers for ESP32, which I have also mentioned in the slides. I'll be sharing in my GitHub. You can use the same and ensure that that link is here added, which is required for programming your ESP32 board. Okay. Now let me go. This is what now I need to go to tools. Sorry, this is the link which you have to put it in the board manager. Okay. Now, okay, done. Now go to. I need to include the manage libraries. Okay, sketch include. Now you go for manage libraries. My PC. Okay, manage libraries. Okay, now you just type BME280. Okay, so I have already installed here. This is this Adafruit BME280 must be installed. Okay, next I need to, all sensor libraries are required. Just type unified sensors, okay, on the screen, and unified sensors. Once you have typed, it will be the you have to drag down. It will be mostly at the end of the end. You can drag down. You'll find at end this library files. Okay. Okay, go on. See, I have already installed. Just install this and follow my I'll share these files in the GitHub. Okay, now I have done. Hmm. Okay, now this is the code part. Before going into the code part, let me check one more thing. Now I need to select the board. Okay, in board you have to go and ensure that you have selected ESP32 dev model. Okay, you have to select a dev model. This is required for programming your ESP32. Then it's done, and ensure your serial port monitor is for, okay. Okay, serial port monitor, and ensure that my device is connected to COM5. Ensure you have selected the COM5. Okay. Okay, now I'll not go in detail in coding, but I'll give some glance what is include Wi-Fi .h. It is this is for your USB32 to connect to Wi-Fi, and Adreno for JSON for sending JSON object. This is for managing your BM80 sensors in I2C communication, and this is for publishing data to the MQTT client. And this library I have used for getting the network timing. The time data will also be sent. That I'll be using a network timing. Because ESP32 doesn't have any timing. So to get the time which data I'm publishing, I'm using this one. And this is for pressure. You can leave the pressure conversion, and this is for I squared C management. BMA. I'm creating a I squared, and this is your password of your Wi-Fi routers, and this is mainly to get the network timing. Okay. I mean, I will be using for getting the network timing and your network time. Okay, and this is my MQTT server address, where my Raspberry Pi address, and this is Wi-Fi client. From I will create a instance of Wi-Fi client. Then that instance I'll be using for publishing my data using a pub client client. Okay. So normally Arduino has two concepts: void setup and loop. Setup is the initial setup I have to do. So I'm setting a baud rate of 1152 for a serial port monitoring, and this is the I2C communication address to check whether my device is connected or not. Not okay. So I'll be using this to check my BM8200 is connected or not. Okay. Now, now when then I'll be connecting Wi-Fi status using my Wi-Fi password previously what we have set, and trying to print. This is my initial setup to check my to connect to Wi-Fi, and to check my sensor, and also I'm setting an offset to get the right time network time in a right format. And this is for and now finally I'm sending I'm linking creating a connection to the my MQTT server, and the port I previously showed you, right? You should know the port. The port that is 1883 port. Okay. Now in the loop part, I'm measuring temperature, humidity, pressure, and latitude, and I'm creating just a JSON buffer which will send a JSON data. I'm just seeing, I'm trying to fetch the network timing here, and I'm just formatting to my requirement. Okay. Now I'm just checking the client to double check whether I'm connected to my client. That is my Wi-Fi part. Okay, one second. Yeah, I'm checking the client and my MQTT server I have connected or not through my Raspberry Pi. Then once I connected, now I'm trying to create a JSON data. So now I'm reading the temperature from I'm reading the temperature, pressure, and humidity from my BM280, and I'm printing into JSON buffer. Then I'm publishing it into the JSON buffer, and I'm just publishing and giving a delay of 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds I'll be publishing a data to my MQTT browser. Okay. So now let me start flashing. In your board you can see flash and enable, flash and reset. Some boards will have based on that. Please keep pressing the flash button so that once the code get compiles, it flashes into the board. So and now my code is getting compiled. Okay. Now my code is getting compiled. It's taking time. So this is a very simple explanation what I'm giving here. You can find a lot of things. So part one I'll be finishing with this ESP32 programming for BM820 sensor, and hitting to my Raspberry Pi as a server. Okay, my compilation is finished. It is getting flashed into my ESP32. Ensure your flash button on your ESP32 board, Node MCU board is pressed down, is kept pressed till it finished. Now it is finished, and now I have to reset it. Once I reset it, automatically it will the TSP32 will connect to my Wi-Fi, and it will be sending it. I can see it what is being published in my serial port monitor. You can see I have got the network timing, and the data is being published. Again, the second data I have got at this timing, and again the network data is published. So to my MQTT broker, let me see whether my Raspberry Pi has received the JSON format data. So I'm getting into Raspberry Pi and try. I'm going to use a consume part. Okay, so I'm just typing. Okay, okay. So weather is my topic here. Weather and hash means I'll get whatever is published to weather I'll get, because I'll be using ESP32. 2 to 3 devices will be publishing with different IDs. Uh, you can see the ID is getting you can see the ID is getting published. You can see ESP32. Yeah, ESP32 is the ID and date and temperature, pressure, and everything is getting published. So this is the final thing. How your ESP32 is publishing to IoT gateway. You can see continuously I'm getting data for every 5 seconds. I'll be getting a data from the field device. This is the thing of I have finished part one. Part two we'll see